I was watching the children rehearse their program yesterday, and I heard one of their leaders, who shall remain nameless, say to the children, "Well, now you know, children, all those extra people that are coming tomorrow, they're not coming to hear Pastor Bill. They're coming to hear you." I'm sure it was meant in the nicest of ways. So I'll speak briefly. Who's hungry? Seriously, who among you has that stomach-growling hunger right now? Well, there's food that's being prepared right now which would satisfy that particular problem. But let me ask again, who's hungry? Seriously, there we have a hand in the back. Very good. There we have several of you. Okay, but now here's the bigger question. Who among us has spiritual starvation going on? You don't have to raise your hands. You have this hunger that needs to be filled not only with bread, but with the capital B, bread of life. And where in the world can you go to get that capital B bread that no caterer is going to be able to make, right? You can't go to your favorite donut shop. You can't go to your favorite restaurant to satisfy that hunger. That hunger gets satisfied from the baby that comes from Mary. Maybe our lives feel full. Maybe your spirit feels full. Maybe you've been spiritually hungry so long that gnawing feeling, you don't even know it's there anymore. You don't even know that you're hungry. So you've stopped looking for capital B, bread. Mary's song, which is universally known as the Magnificat, which is a Latin word that means "my soul magnifies the Lord," it's a song of hope by a perplexed teenage girl. I want you to try to imagine Mackenzie, and I want to thank her for being married today. I want you to try to imagine, Holland or Mackenzie or some of the other girls in our congregation who are those teen or late teens age. Try to imagine one of them, because that's probably old Mary, the mother of Jesus, was. Try to imagine then one of those girls really meeting an angel tonight. And the angel really comes up to them. And the angel really comes to a young girl, a young woman, and says, "Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you." Well, what would it be like to meet that in your room? Would we act any differently than the response that Mary did give? Mary was greatly troubled at his words and wondered, what kind of greeting could this be? That's really our universal response, isn't it? Mary's song is a universally loved song because it's your song, because it's my song. It's a song that's sung in response to being totally perplexed by what God is doing in our lives. Greetings, you who are highly favored. That's you that the angel is speaking to. And maybe you're just as perplexed as Mary. What kind of a greeting could that be? I didn't come here to meet any angel to tell me that bit of news. Well, you see, Mary's not only perplexed, though. She's confused. How will this be since I'm a virgin, since I've never slept with a man? How in the world is this possible? And I bet you're confused too. Maybe not today, but often. You're confused. God, what are you doing? God, are you there? I look at the world and I wonder, God, can you be? Can you be in my life? And so we are confused. We are perplexed, just like Mary. And the challenge in each of our lives is to say what she says. Yes. Boy, that is a tough word for human beings in a mostly comfortable North America to say. The things we value are not necessarily the things that God wants to fill us up with. We value lots of things that we think would bring us peace and joy and love and hope. But what will really bring those, if you will, when you are perplexed and confused, if you will say with Mary, "Yes, I am the Lord's servant. May your word to me be fulfilled." That's a song of hope. Well, you might think, well, how wonderful for Mary that she gets to have this baby Jesus, that all the world is going to think wonderful of her. But remember who else this baby is that she is having. Would you like to be the mother of Jesus? Would you like to be the mother of the child who gets lost for 3 days while he's sitting with the rabbis in the temple? Would you like to be the mother of this boy who says such strange things that the poor would be comforted? That he's going to tear down the temple and rebuild it in 3 days. He says such strange things that people say to Mary, "Mary, your son has lost his mind." And for a while, she agrees with them. My son, who I had such hope for, has lost his mind. And then he lost his life. That's Mary's son. Would you like to be the mother of that child? Was that the hope that her song expressed? And oddly, yes. She sings a song to glorify God for the miracle of being impregnated by this miraculous visitation. But she still had a hunger. And that hunger was that the hope of Israel would be fulfilled. And so it is that she praises God that the poor, those society rejected, the hungry, those who need to have a difference made in their lives, not the powerful, not the kings, not the rulers, not the captains, but the poor, the workers, the slaves, the people in line waiting to be fed. Those are the people that believe Jesus made a difference. And imagine this verse being read, this passage being read in the Christian churches of Turkey today, where yesterday they had funerals for children being massacred. Imagine them hearing that he shall take rulers, that he shall fill the hungry. Do you see the universal, the timelessness of Mary's song that we sing every year? So my friends, what do you hunger for today? Do you hunger for meaning, for direction, for connection, for relationships? Well, I ask you if you are, if God offered you that, are you willing to say yes and to be surprised at what the yes means? Are you willing to be like Mary to say, "I have no idea how this can be, God, but I say yes"? If you've come to be filled, if you've come to find the missing Jesus, this is a good place to start. But it finishes with you on your knees praying to God, "Yes. Fill my heart. Fill the hungry." You see, in our lives, we are all the people in these pictures. We are all the people who want to be fed, right? We all need servants who are willing to feed us. And we are all the servers as well. We have this food ministry that we do here each month that you could be a part of. You know, maybe worship isn't your thing, but what about feeding the poor? How do you think God is going to fill the hungry if not with your hands? Think of the people, the filling of hunger that is happening just with the report that happened here. If God will do that with $1,000 in one little church, what if you took the blessings He has given you and risked it to multiply your faith to fill the hungry? You can be delivering the spiritual food. You can be receiving the spiritual food, hungry friends. You see, we all go through life perplexed and confused. I do as well. Sometimes we're blessed to accept the path that God has chosen for us. And on those rare occasions when we fully accept God's will in the midst of a perplexing and a confusing life, not often, but often enough, we are surprised to hear ourselves singing, "My soul glorifies the Lord." That's what the cradle that rocks the world is singing.